everyone. I am Lynn Barletta. I am the founder and CEO of UACT, United Against Child Trafficking. And I have with me...
I am Abby Corrigan, Lynn's sister, the founder and CEO of UACT Colorado.
And they are a separate 501c3, but they are partnered with us, and we work together. We're helping them launch because we have launched in Florida for a couple of years longer. And so I want you to know, though, that this is a pre-recorded video that's going on live because we are interacting with you live from our personal pages. So we invite you to enter into the chat and ask your questions.
Yes.
And we're going to come back and answer those questions as best we can for you. So today we're going to give you 15 minutes of very solid information that you can use to help protect your children, and we want to give you tools. And today we're talking about sexting and extortion. And you may have noticed that our Blue Task Force leader just posted above us in our storyline about his friend who just narrowly rescued their son from being sextorted and actually paying off their predators. So we didn't know about that when we decided to do this, but it's all coming at the same time. So we know that this is a very important message to get out to you. And so, Abby, tell us, where is this all coming from, this sexting and sextortion? What is going on?
Well, according to reports, 1 in 5 children have been sexually violated. However, newer stats are showing 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 4 boys have been sexually violated, according to Lauren's kids.
So let's talk. Let's just say you're in church, right? And you're looking across the pews at the kids. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's going on there too.
And this is just what's being reported.
That's right.
Pornography is often used as part of the grooming process.
Absolutely. And most of the viewing of child pornography, which is known as CSAM, child sexual abuse material, is children.
Yeah.
And according to a number of studies by Focus on the Family, they learn about sex in a seriously violent and abnormal way. Did you know that 88% of all pornography is now violent? That was what was reported in 2023. It's gotten a lot worse. That's 3 years ago. And so this is culture reframed. This is university studies. But I think we can all agree that it's definitely gone up since then. So children who have been violated violate other children. That's how it works. And, you know, the truth of the matter is you never know what is going on behind closed doors of your neighbors or your friends, even your friends you think you know very, very well. And you also don't know what your children's friends at school have been exposed to or what they may expose your child to. And this is one of the reasons that we discourage sleepovers. It's just not worth it. Yeah. And so kids today are being taught perverse, boundaryless dating, and they're learning relationships by what they watch on these violent websites.
And sexting and sextortion are the fastest growing gateway to child trafficking. It is in every single school. Sexting is where it starts, and it might be just one picture that your child sends to a predator.
Who they think they're friends. See, they think people they've met online are their friends, and they think they're the same age. They don't know. They're innocent. They're not bad. They just don't know.
Yeah, it could be an adult. It could be another child. And that precedes the demand for money. The National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC, the organization like Thorn, report a massive surge in financial sextortion, particularly targeting teenage boys and young men. The targeting of boys has gone up 98% in 1 year. Why?
That's not acceptable. But I can tell you why. It's because the bots have figured out, and AI is involved here in doing the numbers, boys simply respond faster than girls. And so NCMEC has reported that thousands of financial sextortion tips come in yearly, reflecting a shift going up of over 90% of reported predators demanding money rather than additional imagery. In other words, they get the picture, they demand the money, they threaten, and they send the child after mom's wallet to get the credit card. So payment methods that are used, studies that are analyzing financial mechanisms in teen and adult sextortion shows that criminals heavily rely on peer-to-peer payment apps and cash transfer platforms, most notably Cash App, Venmo, prepaid gift cards, and cryptocurrency. These are apps to check for. And so why are kids doing this? Because there's been well over 100% rise in cults across the nation that are mostly under the age of 18. They are taught how to exploit a child for money. It's a cult approach for them to achieve status and to achieve rewards and to go up in levels. And so they do it for promotion as well as sadistic enjoyment. And the things that parents need to understand is that most of these kids who are getting sextorted come from other kids that know them, and often they are a part of these cults. The fear factor of being exposed to all their friends is what drives them to mom's purse to get that credit card and pay off their predator as quickly as possible. And it progresses from there because the threats continue to get worse and they demand more and more money, and it just escalates. UACT provides education for families, schools, churches, law enforcement, first responders, clubs, businesses, youth groups.
And having constant, non-judgmental conversation with your child is crucial to their safety. They have to be able to trust you. Parents and grandparents, you're the first line of defense for your child. The question is not, will this happen to my child, but when? All children are being bombarded now due to bots with AI. Make sure they know how important it is to never send inappropriate pics or videos to a girlfriend or boyfriend. But if they already have, they have made a mistake, you will not be angry with them.
That's right. You have to tell them that.
The most important thing is they can come to you and that you will help them. Their body is private and precious and worth protecting.
And you're in their corner. You'll protect with them, for them.
I think it's important to also know your child is being exposed to sexual language, content, and images at school by their friends. It is not enough to say, you're on top of this, your home is a good home, that my kid knows not to do this. And there are wolves in sheep's clothing that stop at nothing to access your child.
So here's what you have to realize. Your children are actually children, and they're very innocent. But as parents, we see how smart they are. We see the inner genius in them. And so we assume that they understand, and they're still children, and they're still innocent. And so there are answers to this, though. And so monitoring and removing the phone at night for safety is one of the things you can do. You can put a phone in a Faraday bag, which will stop predators from contacting that child all night long and creating algorithms. You can charge all the phones in one place in the house where the parents can see the devices. And then tell them about Bark.
Yeah, we recommend every parent get the Bark app for older kids and the Bark phone for younger kids. So Bark prevents nude photos from being sent or received.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. If it can stop one picture from being sent, it could actually save a life.
It tells you who your children are contacting.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And who's contacting them? Who's contacting them on games, apps, devices? Yeah. If something funny is going on, alert, 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 alert. Now, anything potentially could be hacked, so that doesn't replace all monitoring or having conversations with your child. But it certainly will alert you if there's a problem going on so that you can intercept in this way of gaining your child's trust and opening the conversation so they will actually talk to you and tell you what's going on.
And also, a lot of children, after sending one inappropriate photo, have taken their lives.
And our Blue Task Force leader, James Billig, will be leaving shortly to go to New York to interview a very well-known mother who had this happen to her child within 1 hour. Within 1 hour being contacted, he took his life because he was so innocent, he just didn't know. Okay, so we're going to give you some resources for teaching healthy boundaries to kids. This is going to help you teach your children as they're entering, especially middle school and high school. And it will also help you recognize and deal with sexual abuse in families. And if you just Google parent-focused relationship and family programs, you can find all these. So understand, though, that in my neck of the woods, in Palm Beach County, clerk of the court, Michael Caruso, he was arrested because of horrific, violent sexual assault against his own grandson for years. And there were more, I'm sure, involved. The charges are mounting and mounting. He looked like a good guy. He acted like a good guy. He was a conservative. Everybody trusted him. He had that demeanor. He hid it very, very well. And that's the most important thing to understand. Yeah. You just don't know. And we had another, James Taylor, city councilman, arrested for the same thing. And he also had the trust of many. And so, you know, his own son would not speak up because of this family dynamic of keeping what is ours, ours, and not telling the world. This little boy's parents would not speak up and tell the truth. They knew it was going on. They didn't stop it, and they didn't speak up. And this is where we have to destroy that kind of dynamic and say, hey, it's time to speak up. It's time to say something about what has happened to you or happening to your child or happening to your neighbor.
So Families for Safe Dates, a specific evidence-based family component designed to give parents conversation tool, a toolkit, a booklet, and strategies to help discuss respect and boundaries. Boundaries are so important to learn. And dating abuse, directly affecting our teens.
So the fourth R is an integrated school and family program that helps adolescents build healthy relationships.
So Dating Matter Toolkit, CDC, provides online parent-teen modules, prevention toolkits geared toward handling digital and in-person relationship boundaries.
Love that word, boundaries, boundaries. Kids need to learn that it's important to have them. Also, Relationship Smarts Plus. That's curriculum designed for youth with dedicated companion materials, parents, caregivers, to reinforce communications. NCMEC provides, it's called the Sextortion Discussion Guide, and you can find that on missingkids.org. The American Academy of Pediatrics publishes clinical insights and advice on sexting risks and conversations for families, how to have those conversations with your kid.
Awesome.
Focus on the Family is about understanding teen sexting and advice on teaching children about online predators. I want you to feel free to email us at info@uact.org for more information, and tune in every Wednesday evening, beginning tonight, for News Before It Happens. And that's a podcast where you're going to get news before anything happens to your child. Yes. And this is where Abby and I will continue this conversation at length tonight. And as we go each Wednesday, we have very special guests. It's very informative. And we will have Sheriff Budenseek on. And maybe at some point we can interview your sheriff weekly down here in Colorado. And so you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And you can help by donating. You could help by going to u-act.org, or you could go to u-act.org Colorado if you would like to help Colorado. But you need to check us out and get involved. And so we only have one thing to say when it comes to child trafficking and child predators and child exploitation, and that is not on our